Welcome to the Verdin Verdict Sports Show. I'm your host, Jacob Verda. Sorry about the audio. We got our neighbors doing a nice little remodeling job. Hope their house looks good. You're going to hear the drill a little bit, G. So sorry about that. But appreciate your time, man. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Went to the Chris Brown concert last night, man.
Ooh.
He put on a hell of a show. Hell of a show.
Breezy Bowl. How was it?
It was nice. It was nice, man. Bow Wow was in the building.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, Bryson Tiller in the building. He did his thing, bro. He had a nice performance, nice lineup.
Shout out Chris Brown, man. I think Young Boy's coming in like, shit,
I
a
heard they're
week.
supposed to be canceling it.
Oh, for what?
They
It's like a
were,
security concern?
yeah, they were, bro. They canceled the one in Chicago. So
Come on, Young Boy. Can't take the
the
YBK
YNs,
coming
man,
in.
the YNs cutting up.
Come on, man. Well, we got a nice little show for y'all today. Gonna talk about the injury report, LSU versus Vandy, and we got some picks for you at the end of the show. G, I gotta say something real quick before we get into the picks. If y'all don't know, if y'all haven't been following, we've been giving out a little sprinkle here on the membership. We got a little subscription going. Come on, $10 a month, you get a bunch of locks. Yesterday we had a plus 400 touchdown, plus 300 touchdown. We hit the FanDuel touchdown jackpot. We split 2 million with everybody. Bro, they got us dirty, bro. They gave us $60 in bonus bets. So we won like 130 on a touchdown, and then they only gave us $60. G. The way it works is, let's say 10,000 people bet on this guy. They'll take 2 million divided by 10,000. Everybody shares the pot. They trying to say 17,000 people bet on this, man. I ain't believing it. Oh, well, we got to share the love. We've been doing some nice picks, so y'all tap in, go join the subscription, get some locks, bro. Come on, come on, come on. What do you say, G? Winners win, man. We trying to add it on every week. We're gonna try to shake it up this week. I'm gonna try to get my lead back. You got it right now, but we'll see who
I
has it.
do want to say something before we get started.
Let's go.
Uh, for anybody that's watching the stream, I'm pissed off right now because I called Central Baton Rouge High School to cover their game tonight versus Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who the lady was, but the lady in the athletic department told me I could not cover the game because they only let TV stations interview the players and coaches after the game, and they have their own video guide to do the highlights for the game. Never
So
in my 10 years of covering media, of doing media in high school football, I've ever been told it.
and that's how you I'm not trying to say like you take all the hype away or like all the coverage away from a program, but bro, I feel like with what people like you do, man, you got to embrace that. You got to soak that up because not a lot of people are going to give that type of coverage that you're giving, plus and do what you're doing for those athletes, because at the end of the day, I mean, the connections and networks and like all the support system, that's what makes this. I ain't gonna lie. So that's
I'm not gonna blame the whole entire school for that because you know obviously she's the only one I talk to. Maybe she don't understand. I don't know. I don't know. But if anybody's watching that stream, you know anybody at Central Baton Rouge, please deliver that message. That is absolutely ridiculous.
let's get it figured out, man. We got to get our guy G on the sideline, bro. Come on, that's
Crazy.
in the business, man. Let's jump into this injury report, G. I got a couple of questions for you, a couple of things, some lay additions here. Number 40, Whit Weeks, is going to be listed as questionable. I have a nice little question for you here as well. And then Bernard Gooden, obviously, two big pieces on this defense that I feel like, you might going to have to shift the game plan a little bit if they're not going to answer the bell. So, two comments. One, Dylan Carpenter on Tuesday had some media availability, number 97. He's a potential edge replacement now that you are losing pieces like Gabe, potentially Jamari, yada, yada, yada. He could be a name that I think you could slowly start to see some more progression from. Now, my second question for you, G, it's a nothing concrete. I'm just kind of wondering. I feel like LSU and the way that they do all their interviews and all the media stuff, it's so like planned out and protected. And like, long story short, after the Tuesday availability, the media is leaving the building and they see Whit Weeks leaving in a walking boot, an ankle boot, and they're seeing, okay, he could potentially be hurt. Man, I just feel like
Is it
that's
the same ankle he
no.
hurt during the
So
bowl game?
Brian Kelly said that it's not the same injury. He didn't specify what ankle. He said it's a bone bruise and it's a new injury. So I don't know if it's a bone bruise on the same ankle or
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see him in the boot. But my question is like, I feel like Whit Weeks is going to go. I feel like he's going to roll out there. We saw Trudez Green roll out there. Obviously, Nussmeier's been playing through injury. But like, man, this just seemed interesting to me. Like the media saw him walking in a boot. You think that they would, all right, Whit, we got the media coming at 6 o'clock, bro. Like either wait an hour to leave or leave an hour earlier. Like
But
this just seemed
that's
interesting.
not necessarily a cause of concern when he walking in the booth. Sometimes that's precautionary. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen a lot of guys walk out of practice or out of a game they just played in with a boot, and it'd be precautionary. So I wouldn't be that concerned just because he was in a boot.
Yeah, and then also, I mean, like when this guy is out for the entirety of spring and has a dislocated ankle and is recovering from surgery, you're going to want to be as precautionary as possible because it's a vital part to your defense. But it just made me wonder. I'm like, man, there's no way like that if it was a major situation, you were really worried about Witt, I just wouldn't think that they would put him in that spot to walk in front of media around that same time frame. You think that would have been thought out. I don't know. Either way, though, Tylen Singleton would be the back that would answer in his spot.
Or
And
Devon Keys.
I've been interested with Singleton just for the simple fact that throughout spring, we don't have Witt and we don't have Harold. And that's kind of when you get to see Devon and Singleton get thrown out in not only a live element, but they get more reps than they would have ever have gotten. And it could kind of potentially catch them up to speed here. Now, do you rely on that and you go out with the same scheme you would have went out with? Or do you have to tweak it if somebody like Whit Weeks or Bernard Gooden can't answer the bell?
You got to remember when Witt got thrown out of the game against Florida, right, for the targeting call?
Yeah.
Devon Keys and Tylen Singleton stepped up in that game, and they played pretty good. So I think this coaching staff is confident in either one if they got to put him in there. And don't forget, Blake probably going to go to some 3 safety looks too, more if Whit Weeks can't go. But I think Whit Weeks is a warrior. I can't see him not playing on Saturday.
Especially with the way that you've been seeing LSU handle these injuries too. And I'm not trying to say that they've been handling them wrong or anything. It's just a fact that, hey, if this guy can benefit and be 75 to 80% of his best self, we're going to throw him out there. And then I keep pointing back to the Garrett Nussmeier situation that I feel like this is a comparable spot. But I do think Whit Weeks is thrown out here. And I don't think
the Bernard Gooden injury is more severe than the Whit Weeks injury, in my personal opinion.
And with Bernard, they're saying it was a collarbone issue. It was something upper. It was interesting, too, because when you watch him walk, I don't know whose video it was. It was either Preston guy or a guy, Andre Champagne, but it looked like Bernard walking like this, like holding on to something in the lower body. So I didn't know where it was in this point. Yeah. How do you like monitor that injury, though? Because it's covered by pads. I know there's a lot of grabbing on that upper, right around that collar area. So it's like you can't.
They're probably going to put I don't know if it's called a brace or a jacket. I've seen guys wear it in college and in the pros when they're dealing with a collarbone or a shoulder injury. They put this, it's like kind of like a jacket they put over it for extra like protection. So I would assume if he does play on Saturday, on tomorrow, that he'll have something like that on to give him some extra padding and extra protection.
And this is going to be one of the big pieces to that D2. I got 3 keys for you. I'm going to keep it defense related. My first one, come on, big dog. You got to wrap up because we saw last week Lenore Sellers with the 20-plus carries. We saw him running all over the place, at times struggling to bring him down. Number 2 right here, Pavia, he going to try to do the same thing, man. And we can't let him escape. Can't put the defense in a situation where they're going to be compromised, playing more than they should. It's going to roll into my second point. Don't make the defense have to put that Superman cape on, bro. We're right here talking about Whit Weeks being hurt, Bernard Gooden being hurt, Gabe Relaford's out for these injuries are piling up at this point. And if you had to ask me, it's because these guys are playing more snaps than they probably were conditioned to play in this element. I mean, shit, there's a lot of times where I feel like complimentary football can save the day. This is going to be a game where I think it's going to be the biggest opportunity for it to. Last key. Confidence boost for Garrett Nussmeier. Now, it could come in a variety of ways. Some quarterbacks should do a check down, see 5 completions in a row, and then boom, all right, cool, my head's good. Some quarterbacks need a big one. They need Barian Brown across the middle and Aaron Anderson, Trudez Green. Whatever gets Nussmeier going, make it happen. Make it happen early. We've been watching the body language a little bit during the interviews, him hanging his head. We need that confidence and that moxie to come back. I don't know if it has to be a 40-yard dot. I don't know. But Nussmeier has to get going early, G. How do you feel about those, and what are your keys?
My first key is special teams. I talked about it on Wednesday. I think that Chadwick and Damian Ramos going to play a big role in this game, bro. I think Damian Ramos probably going to have to make 3+ field goals for LSU to be able to walk away with a win. I think Chadwick going to have to flip that field position for LSU and keep Vanderbilt in situations where they got to go 80 or 90. And I think if they got to do that, that puts LSU defense in an advantage. The second thing is, bro, this game is not going to be based off of how athletic LSU's defense is. It's going to be based on how disciplined and gap sound they are. If you look at a lot of things that Alexander do to the running back and Pavia does when they bust these long runs, is up the A gap and the B gap is not really on the perimeter. So we got to make sure that we gap sound. We got to make sure our D tackles like Dominique McKinley, Ahmad, bro. If Bernard Gooden plays, they got to make sure they have good gap integrity, bro. And Devon Keys and Tyler Singleton, bro, you got to have good eye discipline because they're going to have motion going one way and they're going to fake it. And as soon as they see you make one false read step, right, that's when Pavia pulls it. He goes up the A gap, and then sometimes he acts like he's pulling it and going around the perimeter, and he's giving it to Alexander on the mesh, and now he's up the A gap, and he's going 70 yards, and he's a game breaker, bro. So I think those two things are going to be pivotal. The third thing is they got to get off to a fast start offensively, bro. They can't wait till the second half to get their offense going. They got to score in that first half. They need to be up at half. They got to be up. They got to go into halftime up, bro, because like I said on Wednesday, Vandy's offense is predicated off of clock control, controlling the game, time of possession, keeping your offense off the field, limiting your possessions. That's going to be the keys to the game, bro. If they could do those three things, I think they could walk away with a victory. But I think that's easier said than done.
Of course, especially at 11 o'clock in the morning, too, which is, I think, the weirdest element of it all. I could take being on the road. I could take playing a mobile quarterback. I don't know about that 11 a.m.
11 a.m. kickoff, bro. I'm telling you, that routine. Listen, we all remember what happened the last time they played at 11 o'clock, and it was at home.
Fumble muff. Hey,
what time was the South Carolina game?
The South Carolina game was at 11 a.m. as well, and yeah, I think low key.
Okay.
So think that Mizzou and Mississippi State were 11 a.m. too. That Mizzou game when Jaden Daniels shot back and forth with Drink when Blake Baker was still there.
That was 11 a.m. too.
I think so, but it could have been a 2:30 kick. Let's go back and look. That was 2023 or 2024. 2024.
That was BK first year. Huh?
Let's see.
I didn't know the South Carolina game was at 11 a.m. I thought it was at 2:30.
I think it was because they had the game day and then they switched in right after game day. They moved right into that.
Yes. All right, so that makes me feel a little better.
But that South Carolina game at the end almost fell apart too, so I'm a little scared.
Well, they did get off to a rocket start at South Carolina. They did. They really did. They don't get that unnecessary roughness where they hit Nussmeier on a pick six. LSU lose that game last year, bro.
Yeah, buddy, a controversial penalty. A lot of people are upset about it. Man, I'm trying to find this football score with Mizzou and LSU. Let's see.
So it really is making my point then. They struggled at if it was 11 o'clock in the morning at Missouri, they struggled in that game. They struggled. Well, I think Missouri missed a field goal to lose the game.
Yeah, the LSU won by 10.
They won by 10? I thought Missouri missed a field goal.
49-39. I mean, they might have been able to add
South Carolina missed a field goal.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, South Carolina did miss a field goal. I thought you were talking about the Mizzou game because Major Burns sealed that one. Nah, you're right. South Carolina did. Yeah, because they still had an opportunity. Yep. And then I think the biggest thing about South Carolina was that Lenore Sellers injury. So
that was big. I forgot about that. So they have a history. So they have a history under the BK era. The Tennessee game at home, where he got their ass thrashed. What it was, 40-14?
It was bad, bro. The first play of the game was a fumble and kickoff, bro.
It was bad, bro. The Missouri game, 11 o'clock kickoff, they struggled. They really should have lost that game. They were losing the whole game. That's when Blake was the DC.
Yeah.
And last year, South Carolina, they struggled that whole game. They got the football guy smiled on them with that roughing the unnecessary roughness call on Nussmeier on the pick six.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really making my point right now that it's something to be concerned about with this 11 a.m. kickoff, dog. I ain't gonna lie. If I'm the coaching staff, bro, I'm making sure we doing room checks all the way to probably about 2 a.m.
Get in bed.
We doing room checks from 10 o'clock at night to 2 a.m. in the morning. I got to make sure everybody in the room, I got to make sure y'all in the bed. Y'all not playing the game. You ain't on a FaceTime with these females. You locked in, bro. You're not on TikTok. You in the bed under the sheets.
Handle success, man. Prepare for the victory, dog.
Yeah, bro.
If Bernard Gooden doesn't answer the bell, you think this is an opportunity, a good little spot for someone like, I don't know, Walter Mathis?
Walter Mathis been playing pretty good, bro. He's somebody, and I wanted to bring him up on Saturday against South Carolina. because he made some plays in that game, not necessarily made the tackle, but he did some. He was very disruptive in the middle, and sometimes D tackles make plays for the linebackers to make.
Yep.
And I think sometimes fans don't realize how much of a difference that makes in the game on the defensive side of the ball. So I think Walter Mathis is somebody that we forget about that should get some recognition, and he could definitely help out on Saturday if Bernard Gooden can't go.
Yep.
Along with Dominic McKinley and Amar Bruner.
It's good to have this much rotational depth. That's the key.
Walter Mathis is a freshman, huh?
I believe so, because Brian Kelly was talking about what got him into that point. He was saying you just don't. He's so natural, he's so instinctive. Like he just knows where to go, what to do, and how to fill his gap. He's very physical.
Oh, another key that I didn't bring up. What is the kid's name on Vanderbilt? He's the edge rusher. He's number 26. I think his last name is Giles. It could be. He lead him in sacks. I think he got like 5 sacks on the year.
Let's see.
He did best pass rusher.
And that's somebody who you think that's going to be a similar situation, like he lines up against Weston Davis, or they do that Dylan Stewart type lineup.
Yes. Now he ain't Dylan Stewart, right? So don't have me looking like I'm trying to say he's Dylan Stewart or anything in the same stratosphere as Dylan Stewart. But he's a pretty good player. He got a good get off, something to monitor on tomorrow going against Weston Davis, because you best believe they watch the film and they're going to probably line him up on Weston Davis to see if they can have some success.
Is his number 26 or 29?
Might be 29.
Miles Capers?
Capers. I said Giles. Capers. That's
6'4", 235. He's a senior, dude. He got so much experience in that frame.
What, he got 5 sacks on the year?
I'm about to look up the stats right now. Frame is crazy.
And he got a bunch of hurries too.
4.5 sacks. He had a forced fumble last year. He had 3 forced fumbles. He had 46 total tackles last year. Good Lord. Yes. He had 3 pass deflections last year too.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good player, bro. He's a good player. So that's he's somebody, and I would hope that they do the same thing they did with Bauer Sharp last week against Dylan Stewart. Even though Bauer Sharp had his troubles, move Bauer Sharp over there to Weston Davis' side and help him out against Capers, bro.
Yeah, you could take everything you get in this
and this is something they're gonna have to deal with the rest of the year until Weston Davis continues to get better.
It's a blessing in disguise, because at least now he in that fire. Look, this is the best opportunity to be able to learn, bro. You ain't learning on the sideline. Right here is where you're gonna learn. I mean, look,
experience is the best teacher. I say it all the time.
Might fail a little bit, but if you get back up, man, you might be in a good position. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's talk about Cignetti, bro, because we were wondering who Penn State was gonna hire, and I heard the Penn State Nittany Lions was snooping around Cignetti. They must have came calling, bro, because look at this picture right here. Inked the deal that extends him through 2033, makes him the 3rd highest paid coach. Gee, let's just put this into perspective. 2 years ago at James Madison, you know what my guy was making on a salary? $500,000. Flash forward 2 years later, you win some college football playoffs. You tell some people to Google you. You're making $11.5 million a year. There's only 2 coaches that are above him, and it's Kirby Smart and it's Ryan Day. Kirby making 13, Ryan making 12.5. This guy right here making the big 12 million. And look, Paul Feinbaum sounded off, bro. He said this is a bad idea. Gee, I'm gonna disagree. I think it's a good idea. And
what was his reason for saying it's a bad idea?
I think it's because of the guaranteed money that they were going to tie into it. And then here's my comment though. Because you're in an era now where you got the buyouts. Everybody are wondering if a buyout is going to be able to be something of that's kind of going away, like wasting money on a coach, tying them to these long contracts. This would put him, here through 8 more years. Either way, my point is James got fired. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Franklin from Penn State.
Sunday, I think. Yeah, it was Sunday.
And within 2 to 3 days, bro, we got an extension of Cignetti. That tells me that his name was hot. And this job, Penn State, is not going to be the only job that's going to be up for grabs. Not going to be the best job that's up for grabs. This dude's name is going to constantly be cycling in. If you know you got your guy, if you're happy with what he's doing for you, and if you think this is the future, why not ink him to an extension, G? Why not be like, all right, cool, we're going to lock this down. We're going to make sure that our recruits know we got our guy, our team and our culture can continue to get built. Bro, they're undefeated. They're number 3. They just beat Oregon on the road. This is a smart decision to me. I ain't gonna lie. The only reason I could somehow, some way see it being a problem is if 8 years down the road, it doesn't pan out. But at the end of the day, my question still stands. Who else would they go get, bro? This is the best candidate, bro. If LSU was in the market for a head coach, I would throw Cignetti's name into the hat just because of what he's been able to do. Because I've Googled him. Like, I ain't gonna lie. This ain't a bad idea, but that's my take on it.
this says a lot about Indiana's leadership, because usually these small schools like this, these mid-level Power Four teams wouldn't even do something like this. They would be like, man, we can't pay you this kind of money, and they'll just let them walk. But Indiana obviously is all in on football, and if you listen to Signett's interviews that he's been doing as of late, he's talked about how the administration at Indiana is 100% committed to growing this football program. We all know this has been a basketball school for the last 30 plus years. Indiana has never been known for football, ever. And since he's been there in these 2 years, he has made a drastic change, bro. The playoffs in year 1, that's crazy work. Year 2, you number 3 team in the country, you go on the road and you beat Oregon.
Oregon, yeah.
Come on, man. He deserves everything they're giving him.
And
now, this is where I come into play and I think that Pon Farnbaum probably thinks this is a mistake because he feels like Penn State's a better job. And I would be the one that says I have to disagree with that. If this was before the NIL era and the transfer portal era, I would say, what the hell are you thinking about, Signetti? What you thinking about? You're not going to ever win in Indiana. But times have changed, bro. It makes no sense to go to Penn State where there's going to be unfair expectations, dog. Bro, James Franklin won in the last 3 years. He had a 13-win season. He had an 11-win season. He had a 10-win season. And he went to the semifinals of the playoffs. And they fired this man. Really? And you think I'm about to go sign up for that? Bro, Signetti gonna stay. He can stay in Indiana and get a statue put out in front of the university, bro.
In a year.
And look, when you talk about getting good players, Indiana is about spending the money. That's why they got a good football team. And Penn State, in my mind, is probably, and this is my personal opinion, I think that's the 4th best job in the Big Ten. It's the 4th best job. It's not a school where you like, man, that's LSU. Man, that's Michigan. Man, that's USC. Man, that's Bama. You don't look at Penn State like that. Don't get me wrong. Good job. But I'm not going to leave Indiana, especially with all the resources that they given Signetti, to go to Penn State, especially how they just did James Franklin. That's just my opinion.
Then we hearing rumors of Adidas having a hand in the mix with it, and we got the background information on it. It's because they switch into Adidas next summer. So now we got the fact that, okay, cool, you got external boosters and other people outside of the athletic department having their hand in the mix on this decision. So the pressure is completely different because, to your point, you're in a world now where you're disposable no matter what happened. I mean, Pat McAfee was talking to Kirby Smart this morning about it. Bro, Kirby Smart, the greatest coach in college football right now. We're having a conversation with him. Not that he's worrying about it, but just it's the fact. It's the fact. Dabo Swinney, same thing. He wins a national championship in an environment that I feel like hasn't been to that point besides him in a 25-year span, more than likely. And then now he's on the hot seat, and he's talking about, oh, well, I'm still wanting to coach and all this stuff. And he's got to advocate and actively fight for his job because there's been one bad season. Same thing for them. Last year they were in the playoffs. Either way, the pressure is changing all the time. I don't think it's a bad decision. I think they got their guy. So much so where I really wouldn't be upset if he was a coach at an LSU or a bigger SEC school. I think he's got the chops. I like him. I'm riding with him.
Yeah, same thing with Lane Kiffin, bro. Why would Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss to go to Florida?
And then watching that documentary too, like you got to see so much about Lane maturing, at least with the way they structured it, because he did that to Tennessee, obviously goes to USC. That doesn't work out. They whack him on the head after all the sanctions and all this stuff get placed. I mean, bro, I don't see him wanting to do that to another university. Like this does seem like the one he's going to settle down at. That's the way it looked like to me through that documentary.
And think about this. When the Bama job opened up, Kalen DeBoer was not their first option.
Probably
wasn't their second option. And damn sure wasn't their third option. Bro, Kalen DeBoer got that job by default because people was like, man, I'm going to just stay where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
All I need is the resources and the people to pour into my program with the money to be able to get these players. And it's an even playing field. Why am I going to Bama and go through what Kalen DeBoer going through? Well, the dust thing kind of settled since he on a win streak. But after that Florida State loss, bro, it felt like the sky was falling. people are saying he need to be fired up. And remember, I came on here and I was like, bro, what are people talking about? They won't fire this man already, bro. He in year 2. What we talking about?
It's a blessing and a curse of taking a torch, bro. And I think a lot of people saw that coming from
Unrealistic expectations, dog.
Yeah, they want him to be Nick Saban Jr., man. It's like, hey, there's one Nick Saban, gang.
Stuff takes time, bro. Stuff takes time. And I think even when he lost to Florida State, bro, I still thought that for the first year at Bama, I thought he did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did a good job. I think it was the Vanderbilt loss, and they had another loss to somebody they shouldn't have lost.
Was it Tennessee?
I don't know if it was 10. I know it Vandy and somebody. He had 2 losses last year where people were probably was like,
was it Ole Miss? I think I'm tripping.
Nah, I can't remember. But whoever the 2 losses was, I know it was like you can't lose to people like that at Bama.
No,
but they forget about he beat Georgia and he blew out LSU in Death Valley.
I was about to say. Yeah, they lost to Tennessee and they lost to Oklahoma. They lost to Vandy, Tennessee.
It was Oklahoma. It was the Oklahoma game.
Ooh.
That was a bad loss. Oklahoma was bad last year, bro.
They lost 24-3. Milroe had 164 pass. Ooh.
I remember that game. They played them in Norman. That was a bad loss. The Vandy game was a bad loss. If you take them 2 losses away, they probably top 3 in the country.
Oh yeah, because they beat number 2 Georgia. They beat the SEC champs.
They beat it. They're the reason why LSU didn't have an opportunity to get into the playoff last year. Like once they lost to Bama, everybody was like, "Yeah, it's over."
College game day came and it ruined the fun, bro. A lot of pressure on there. College game days over here in Ole Miss and UGA. We about to pick that game next, but I gotta pop this up. Come on, G. Let me hear, bro. 12-10, 11-11.
I need to get some separation, man. I got to get some separation, man.
We kind of trading at this point. We going back and forth, back and forth. You got me 2 weeks in a row, though. I was 1-2 last week.
I got to bring out the broom this week.
We'll see. We got a nice spread. This might be one of our best 3-game spreads we've had yet. Let's start it off. Come on. College game day. Where they at, bro? They in Athens. Ole Miss, Georgia. Here is the line. 7-point spread, 56-point total. Dogs are minus 270 on the money line. You get a quick glimpse at the stats. Ole Miss has a nice productive offense. They're going to face a nice combative defense. Total yards kind of don't tell the whole story. It's interesting, though. I mean, the story here, the X factor here, is Trinidad Chambers. It's your guy. It's Mr. quote-unquote QB2, who now is undeniably the starter, bro. Like, I don't care if Austin Simmons is 100%, 150%, 200%.
Yeah, you can't go back to Austin Simmons. You can't do it.
I'm sorry. You can't, because Chambers is a superstar stud. I ain't lying to you. Now, the question is going to be, how does he play on the road? You're in Athens. They previously had a 33-game winning streak consecutively for Alabama. Murked it. But they're in a spot where I think this is one of the toughest environments that Chambers will probably play in. Now, he's still a great quarterback. He did fine versus LSU. I'm wondering, though, like, that Kirby Smart has the element of watching that LSU game film now. And I'm going to ask you if you think that's a big deal. But I got one more statistic here. People are only harping on the defense for Georgia, but they're not talking about Gunnar Stockton and the ability that he's possessing and what he's given that Kirby Smart offense. 32 points per game. Rebels averaging 38 points per game. They're really close. You wouldn't have guessed that. You wouldn't think that Georgia's out here crossing that 30-point mark damn near every week. My last point here is that Georgia versus Auburn, I think, really flexed some muscle. And Ole Miss versus Washington State gave me a couple of things to worry about internally. I dropped them in my power rankings, put Georgia above them. I got to put my money where my mouth is. I can't backtrack now, G. I got to ride with the dogs, bro. I'm going to take the dogs money line, but I will say, I think that the 7-point spread is too much. I wouldn't say take Georgia by 7. I think this could be a close game. It could be back and forth. I'd say maybe a 3-point spread. I got the dogs, though. I'm going to rock with them. I like what they did against some competitive teams, and I feel like they've shown me a little bit more, but we'll see.
I'm going to back you on that and go with Georgia. I think you make a good point about Trinidad Chambers going on the road in a hostile environment. This is going to be his first big game away from Oxford. And that's something to be said, bro. You're not going to be able to just have that communication at the line with your O-line and your receivers and the communication with the offensive coordinator, Weiss and Kiffin. So it's going to be an adjustment for him. And I've been saying this ever since LSU played Ole Miss a couple weeks ago. I think Georgia will expose Ole Miss's secondary, bro. I think Ole Miss's secondary is the weak link of the team. I think that they're gonna have some opportunities with Noah Thomas, Zachariah Branch, Dylan Bell. I think those guys gonna have a field day. Delp, the tight end. I think they're gonna have a field day against this Ole Miss secondary. I definitely see Georgia winning this game by 7 or more.
Oh, I'm gonna guess 31-28. That was my.
I'm gonna go with 27-14.
Okay. The flex
27-14.
Georgia. Let's move into this game, Alabama, Tennessee. I think this is an interesting spot here. If you look at the spread, 8.5. That's a lot of big points, bro. Minus 300 on the money line, 59 on the total. But there's some statistics here that I don't think are being talked about enough. First in points per game for Tennessee, 48 points per game. This is with a transfer quarterback, Joey Aguilar, as quick could be defined. Got in to Nashville, went to Neyland, understood the playbook, and is executing it flawlessly to the point where I'm going to go out on a limb and say, I don't even know if Nico would have been able to play this good. Sorry, I didn't want to take it there. I'm just saying.
Nico been balling over the last couple of weeks since they fired Deshaun Foster.
He just
been balling.
He just now picked it up because at the beginning, I'm sitting here holding my breath. It could have been a confidence thing, a mind thing, a switching into a scheme thing, but that's why I'm tipping my cap to Joey even more so because I've never seen the growing pains from him.
Hey, let me put a little bug in some of these LSU Tiger fans' ear. I heard Nico might be coming to LSU.
Wait, hold on. We got to talk about this for a second. We're going to pause. Now, we're sitting here worrying about DJ Lagway. I've never even considered that because I got a question for you now. Do you think that the UCLA destination was more so rushed because nobody else had an opportunity or a spot open? It was so late in the year, and now everybody going to come in?
Yeah, he went to UCLA by default. But I've heard some rumblings that Nico could be coming to Death Valley. It's a chance. Look out.
I'm hoping you're looking into that crystal ball real well. 2020 vision. I ain't lying. I could put.
You ain't hear that from me though. You ain't hear that from me.
I could put some stock into it, man. You gonna get me rattled, bro. I ain't lying. This get me hyped. Alabama, Tennessee, man. Let's get the main thing, bro. They say it's a rivalry. I don't know, bro. Because when Saban was here, I looked at it, bro. 2007 to 2021, Alabama took 15 straight, bro. And then the minute Saban leaves, last 3 years, Tennessee takes 2 of the 3. So now they starting to feel froggy, call it a rivalry, all this stuff. Next gen stat, love to find them, gotta have them. Tennessee's looking to beat Alabama for the first time in Bryant-Denny since 2003. That's a bad statistic for them. Both quarterbacks very solid. Like I said, Simpson, Aguilar, I don't think they got enough preseason praise. I think obviously Aguilar was more so he was a newer guy. Simpson just really wasn't proven yet. Taking the mantle from a guy like Milroe, it's always tough. My X factor, I wanted to see how Jan Miller was going to respond on the injury report. They're thinking he's expected to play. I'm a ride Alabama money line. I think this is the best team in the SEC. I think Alabama, like you said, against Florida State, didn't have everything worked out. And week 1 is like that. Week 1 always has an opportunity for resetting and recalibrating expectations. As LSU fans, you went on 5-year streak of losing a week 1 game. Sometimes also getting kicked in your rear end early, I think helps kind of push you into a spot down the road to be able to be fortified and actually, have some resiliency with you. I'm going to ride Alabama. I think this could be an SEC champion and a national champion. I'm going as that far to say that.
Ooh, you went far with the national champion.
I'm sticking. I'm reaching for it.
Talk about prisoner of the moment. Jesus Christ.
Or I got the all CNI. Either or. Come on.
I do gotta back you with this though. I'm going with Bama, and it's because Tennessee's not gonna be at full strength on the defensive side, bro. They 2 best corners will not be playing. McCoy. I forgot the other one. McCoy is like they projected him to go like top 20, top 15. I can't remember the other corner name, but you can't go against the receiver code not at full strength at secondary. You just can't. So and you're on the road. I gotta take Bama, man. I'm gonna go with Bama 24-14.
That's gonna explain why that spread's so fat at 8.5. McCoy, I think, is the biggest part. Biggest piece.
The other corner good too, though. I forgot his name. He good. Both of them really good, bro.
Shout out high.
That's a big deal. So I'm going with Bama 24-14.
All right, G. Final game right here. We could accidentally get a sweep together if we pick this one the way I think we're going to pick. This might be the first week that we align. I'm going to go ahead and just jump out. I got Notre Dame, and I'm going to say why. USC's on the road in South Bend. I dug up another next-gen stat. USC has 10 straight road losses to ranked teams. 10 in a row. Don't like it. I'm off of it. Notre Dame's defense is nice. There's an injury element to here, too, though. Notre Dame is missing a D lineman and their starting center. Don't know how much of stock you want to put into that. We talked about this, too. The fact that Notre Dame is probably your best two-loss team. But, gee, what does a two-loss team have to worry about? Running the table. You got to win. It's put up or shut up. You think Marcus Freeman's going to tell his guys, hey, man, we just going to kick our feet up. This is a game we're going to be able to win. USC ain't shit. Nah, he hyping them up. Got to. They're 14-4 against the spread in the last 18. This week is at 9.5, bro. A double-digit spread. Public is all over USC plus 10, too. I'm talking about like 65% of bettors are betting plus 10 on the USC. Gee, there's one thing that I'm going to tell you about me. I hate betting with the public. I'm going to tell you why. If betting was rigged, what side are they going to rig? The side that the public's betting or the side that they not betting?
True story.
Exactly. That's the way I'm feeling about it. This is my scariest leg of tonight. I'm very confident in Alabama. Not tonight, this week. Very confident in Alabama. Very confident in Georgia. I'm going to throw Notre Dame on here, though. I got to.
I personally think that USC is overrated. That's just how I feel. I watched them play. I think they got a good team, but I don't think they're as good as people hyping them up to be. Now, I do think they got arguably the best receiver in the country and Lehman. I think he going to have an opportunity to be the first receiver taken off the board. But Notre Dame has a really good secondary. Marcus Freeman calling that defense. They're going to do a good job of controlling the passing game. I think this win is going to solidify Notre Dame for the rest of the season. I think this is going to put them in a 12-team playoff because I think they don't lose another game. That's just my personal opinion. CJ Carr, the quarterback, has been playing lights out. And I don't know why nobody not talking about him. Maybe because they got 2 losses. But CJ Carr is in the driver's seat right now. The way he got this offense running, the running game with Jeremiah Love and the other running back Price, they playing really good right now, bro. I think those 2 losses really reset them. And I think they win this game against USC handedly. I think they win this game 31-13.
Damn. That's an 18-point spread.
31-13.
Gee, first week we've agreed on every game. So if you sweep, I sweep, we sweep.
We both gonna have brooms.
Yeah, fuck it. Whatever. Here we go. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Because this way, either you gonna be 12-13 and I'm 11-14, or you gonna be 15-10 and I'm 14-11. Either way, our record gonna look the same. Oh well. Hey, winners win. The eye test. That's our best leg this week, I think. All right, before you hop out, though, we got people in the chat talking about bonus pick. Somebody asking a Miami game. I don't want to pick the Miami game, bro. They're minus 500 on Louisville tonight. The spread's 13. I'm hearing people betting Louisville 13. I don't want no part of that. They got a prop. I know they got a prop that is first half Miami and then Miami full time. They letting you bet like $10.
I would take Louisville with the 13.
And that's why I want to leave the game alone because it's scary. It's like,
Yeah,
man, you playing on Friday night,
13.
bro.
And you playing on Friday? Yeah. Who played last Friday? And did they get upset? Who was it?
Bro, I remember Florida State playing Virginia and getting blown.
Yeah, that's what it was. Florida State. Florida
Yeah.
State playing Virginia on a Friday.
No, thank you. I'm all out of it. I'll make the viewers. This is the bonus pick for them. G. Do you think they should take LSU money line at plus 105 or leave it alone?
I'm sticking with my stance from Monday and Wednesday. I got Vandy winning this game 24-14.
So you can't even take the spread. You can't even take the spread out of here, bro.
24-14 Vandy, bro.
Ow.
Hope I'm wrong.
I hope
I'm wrong when I say that, but I think gonna happen.
Appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. We're trying to get you up with the lock. So if you're trying to bet 3-leg, Alabama, Georgia, Notre Dame, I think it's at like plus 240. Right around. Be smart. Be safe. Come on. Risk what you can be willing to lose. That's my logic. Whatever you put on that damn bet, G, you might as well take that thing out your mind. That thing gone, buddy. If you win, you win. It's extra, bro. We're looking for some line yop this week. Hopefully we get it. Hopefully we get a sweep too. I think we're gonna get close. This is our best chance we've had so far. Anything you want to say before we hop out of here?
Nah, I'm good, bro.
About to go. Somebody just said, should I cash my parlay, G? Nah.
Yes.
He said, yeah. Yeah, get rid of it. Cut it. Cut it. Appreciate your time, G. Y'all have a good weekend, man. We're going to be back Monday at 1 o'clock. Hopefully with some good news. Hopefully with some brooms. I don't know. We'll see. Later, y'all.